see this? Do you see what this says? Because that's a human skeleton, dude. Very cool. Let's do it. This gallery is made possible contribution. Never mind. Yeah, I'm nice. Cool. Wow. Like an old Native American hut.
Hey, let's get these.
Same height of an average man.
You're the same height as an average man, average woman, 5 foot.
Wait, wow.
Let's see, where are you?
Ooh, cool.
You're at 4 foot.
I just know Powhatan was the chief and Pocahontas was around here. John Smith. Oh, wow. Ooh, look, a real arrowhead. Oh, I touched it.
Scan it right now. We've already followed them.
Fishing tools. An ad or an axe type of thing. It's called an ad. They dug out canoes after they burned a log. Ooh, a real raccoon skin. And possum. Ooh, fluffy raccoon tail. If you've never touched a raccoon tail, it's fluffy. I want to touch a living raccoon and play with him and own him as a pet. Ooh. A little isle fit for a castle. Captain John Smith, Virginia Company, 1608. During severe winter starving times, 1609, 1610. Critically needed supplies. Yeah. There's some old shovels and ads. And yes, these flat ones were called ads. Powhatan attack of 1622.
Hey, Riley, where are we on that?
Tobacco cultivation.
No.
The tobacco culture, the English settlements, some old pipes. A cool sword. Wow, that's a cool sword. What else we got? Shovel, Thomas Jarvis site, middle of late 17th century. Oh, the shovels over there. Some other, oh, big fish hook. Scissors, a comb. A real piece of 8 right there, number 27. Bone comb. Scissors, jetton. Decorative mean, that's probably what that little thing is. Glass linen smoother handle. This is cool. Yeah, so that's Virginia Beach. That is where I live, Virginia. That is Willoughby Spit. This little piece of land. And then right across this little bay here is where the military base is. 1619 settlements. So, Jamestown, the original, and then Kecoughtan, Fort Henry, Point Comfort, Fort Algernon. So that's where the lighthouse is, Point Comfort Lighthouse. At Fort Monroe, so it was named something different. Whoa, that spoon is crazy. Some china, actual china. Thomas Jarvis Trading Plantation. Some cool stuff. Big old skeleton key. Do 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 do. Oh wow, cool cups and coins. Those are East India Trading Company coins. I know that from the movies, Pirates of the Caribbean. Shelter and material possessions. Let's continue. Oh wow, old-timey map. Port of Hampton. Oh, wow. Transatlantic trade. The voyage. Look at that ship. Holy moly. Life in Virginia back there. The first African Americans, or well, Africans arrive in America in Virginia. And that's how they'd carry them. Jeez. Storerooms and storerooms. All these coral rocks and stuff. Look at the size of these barrels. Hampton River Port here. It doesn't really give it much scale. But some old rum jugs. Broken pottery and such. Tristram and Jane. Hey, I was talking about this. Hey there, Blackbeard. So, Blackbeard, pirate plagued Virginia waters, Captain Edward Teach, or Thatch, because they didn't know his real name. Known as Blackbeard, most feared legendary pirate of his age, 1718, Hampton Royal Navy Expedition, North Carolina waters approach. So, 1718 or 19, he got beheaded, but he got stabbed 7 times with a sword and then shot 5 times before he would pass away. Oh, that smells good. So they had to cut his head off because he wouldn't stop fighting, even though he was stabbed 7 times and shot 5 or something like that.
Whoa.
This is cool. Hampton Towny. Look at all the pirate ships.
He did like that much. What? There's a fuel bag.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a fuel bag in.
Sarah, Sally, Carrie,
Let's
Fairfax.
say start down here. Work your way that way.
Yeah, but I'm just showing quick stuff.
Well, no, this tells you what.
On this very spot, the museum loaded 18th century town where, according to 1780 French engineer map, stood dwelling. Several dependency archaeological excavations uncovered dwelling, brick foundation, chimney, and a barrel-lined well filled with 18th century refuge. So this is right here where we are standing. And they found a treasure box. Hampton Town. What? Oh, that we'll take a look at it. It's right there. That's the actual foundation they found. Knife marked Moonsfield. That is cool. Oh, they found a ring and a tiny key and a little treasure chest. John Church, Hampton St. John's. So that's the St. John's right there. That last building in 1728. That was, so this is all still here. This burnt down, part of that top steeple there. But I've investigated this paranormal investigation at St. John's, and the whole town over here burned down by a pirate attack. And the only building left standing was St. John's Church right across the street from this. Cool. So here's part of what the original foundation looked like and what some of the stuff they found. So somebody lived here. Probably some of those people they were talking about over there. Ah, tomahawk. An old well, they found some stuff in it. That's cool. Hampton River, Hampton's right there. Little Scotland, little England. Blackbeard's Point. And actually, his head was hung on a spike right there, which we're right there about. Yeah, right up there. So Blackbeard's Point, I've been to before. Right, I know there's a movie.
No, I'm moving the thing. I'm moving.
Old
Now
coins.
you see it moving? You see my finger?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It moves.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool. George Wythe. He was ugly.
Yeah, that's button.
Oh wow, cool dress.
Oh, see, this is so cool.
Huh. Look at all these old portraits.
Yeah, it looks.
George William Semple,
No, look at that guy.
1812.
He's a monkey. I just found somebody as a monkey.
And a random woman, unidentified, 1850.
It's a stone.
Sophia Bental,
That's
Fox
Sophia.
Hill, Andrew
Sophia.
Tye, 1861.
That's her.
Don't touch. Just leave it, please.
I only have a ring.
Yeah.
Chesapeake Female College, founded 1854. Why was Fort Monroe built? As a result of British invasion. Annabelle Hampton. So this has a lot of history from the times of back before the Civil War, and boy, unidentified, girl, unidentified. Oh. The War of 1812, that was a pretty crazy war. Door hinges. Oh, tiny doll. Fort Monroe and Fort Calhoun Wool. So Fort Wool is still shut down. You can't really get to it. It's out on an island. Maybe one day I'll get a kayak and go kayak over to Fort Wool. But this stuff was found. Hotel Point Comfort. I've actually been to that building. The lighthouse. That's the lighthouse with the lady in white. The old Point Lighthouse at Fort Monroe. 40-foot, sandstone structure, and completed in 1803. America's first national construction project on isolated. That's so cool. Fort Calhoun, Seafaring Barons of Hampton. So that, see how the fort is? Well, outside it used to be this big building, and on the other side behind it has other buildings where the train, so this is the gate I usually walk into. That's pretty cool to see it like that. Mary Wyatt Evans and John Edward Davis. Little kid in the military. Oh, wow. Fought the war to the end slavery, joined the U.S. Navy and helped end slavery. This is cool. The Civil War and Reconstruction exhibit made possible by Daily Press. The Battle of Big Bethel, the rise of Freedmen's School. Jeez, look at that gun. An old Colt. The Hampton Exiles, the ruins of Hampton. So yeah, see, that. Before that, this whole town, the burning of Hampton. See, I told you. And the only thing that was left was the church across the street, the one that St. John's that I've done investigations at before. So everything burned except for, hey, look, there it is, St. John's, still standing. The ruins, rear view ruins, St. John's Church, Hampton, Virginia, March 25th, 1862. Yeah, so it was the only building left in the town actually still standing. I'm guessing this is kind of what it looked like in here. But holy moly, look at the picture of the settlement. That's nuts. All right, let's keep going. This place is pretty awesome. What's that? Fort Monroe. So this is stuff from, a little fife or some coins. Gold Eagle, Silver Eagle. So you can see where Fort Monroe is. So Fort Wool, see, it's a little island. You can't get to it, but there is a tunnel through the highway, and you could stop and look at it, but it's hard to get to. I don't think you're allowed on it. Whoa, look at that gun station. Battle of the Ironclads, that's one of my favorites. Cool guns, nice sword. Oh, dagger. Hospital.